Okay, so here's some angles and classifying angles and some different things for angle relationships. So some important things to remember are the center or vertex is the academic word is right here. And that's always the middle of the angle, and that always has to be in the center of the name, right? So center could probably go down there. 1 point from each side goes on the outside of the name. So this angle here is A and C, and B has to be the middle. Or angle A, B, D. See how B is always the middle? Doesn't matter which letter, C or D, we choose from the side. As long as you pick one on each side, the middle one, which is B, and then A would be the other one. So make sure you know how to name angles. That's going to be a huge thing so you're not confused later on. Because then when we ask you, if we jump down here to number 1, when we ask you to classify SYT, you have to know that we're talking about S. And so usually I put my pen on the S, YT, and I trace with this red pen here that I'm talking about this angle. All right, and so then if we know the names of the angles, if we go back up to classifying, your type here is a right angle, and the measure of it is 90 degrees. This is an acute angle. The measure of it is less than 90 degrees, so that's 89, 70, whatever it may be. This is an obtuse, and that is greater than 90 degrees. And this is actually a straight angle, and that measures exactly 180 degrees. A straight line has a measure of 180 degrees. So now if I come down here and color this green, that's an acute angle. That is less than 90. I'd approximate that at around like 40, 45. Okay, if I went to SYX, so SYX. So see how the Y's in the middle, so that's my vertex? That would be an obtuse angle. Then this last one here, V is up on top, VYX. So that's your example of a right angle. And so that box there, all right, that means perpendicular, and that also means 90 degrees. So always remember that. Then on the back here, we got some angle bisector stuff. So this ray XY here in blue, that cuts the angle into 2 equal pieces. And you can see that, if I get rid of my blue stuff, it is marked by these little segment things. So that's proving that they're congruent is that symbol. I also labeled them here. WXY is this top one, WXY, and YXZ. So Y to X to Z, that makes this the bottom one. So I marked that they're congruent with that symbol. So then we'll give you word problems. PQT. So that's 6x plus 4. Now, if you look at that, PQT is actually this whole thing. So that's going to be the equal piece because that's the whole thing, 6x plus 4. Now, they only actually gave us one piece here. TQS is 7x minus 2. Now, fun fact for you. They told us that these two things are equal. So if one's 7x minus 2, so is the other one. So even though they gave us one piece, we knew what the other piece was. So 7x minus 2 plus the other piece, 7x minus 2, would have to equal there. Okay, so then when I combine the 7 and 7x, I get 14x. Negative 2 and negative 2 is negative 4 equals 6x plus 4. Now I'm actually going to add 4 to both sides. Subtract 6x from both sides. Now, 14 minus 6 is going to be that 8x. 4 plus 4 is 8. X is 1 here. X equals 1. All right. And then find PQT. So make sure you go back here. 6 times 1 plus 4. 6 plus 4. So PQT. And this M in that little angle means the measure of angle PQT is how you read that, equals 10 degrees. So that's how you read that. That can get confusing, but just make sure you're doing the best. And make sure you see that each angle is 180 degrees. That's a straight angle. We talked about that on the front. Adjacent angles are two angles that are next to each other, so they share the side in the middle. Now notice I wrote angle B and angle C, kind of like the question number 4. If you just put that angle symbol, there's another way you can name them. Now there's complementary angles. Two angles that when added form 90 degrees. So what I would do is I'd tell you that this one's like 60 degrees and this one's like 30 degrees, because when you add those up, you get that 90-degree angle. So those are complementary. Notice they don't have to be touching. They can be apart. They could be like angle B and C in the adjacent though too. 180 degrees is supplementary. So you need to know the vocabulary. So this one could be like 110 degrees. This one could be 70. All right. Now if they were an adjacent one, they would look like this straight angle, where they're next to each other and they're touching and they might have a line through it. But then they would still be on a straight angle, that's supplementary angle. They'd also be adjacent here. So you're going to see a lot of problems have these straight angles that are supplementary. And then perpendicular lines make that 90, and a lot of red boxes you'll see in some of our homework. Now, for the measure of an angle 64, find its supplement. So basically 64 degrees plus the other angle have to add up. Vocabulary says the supplement's 180. So subtract 64, and we find out that the other angle has to be 116 degrees, so that it adds up to 180. Same thing, complement here, so that's 90 degrees. The two angles should add up to be, this one's 11, so 11. So if they add up to be 90, I need the other one to be 79. So 79 degrees and 11 degrees makes a complement. So these are our bisectors, our relationships, how to name an angle, all things that you are going to see on the test. Thank you.